And we're live. Quickly checking audio. Wrong button. Okay, that works. Quickly need to sort out my face portion. Nearly there. This is a lot more complicated than what it looks like sometimes. Excuse the spider hand. Oh, I realize now. Wrong one. That's the one I'm looking for. Much better. Just pop that out of shot. Okay, so I am finally up and running. I think. I hope. Yeah, so the shot changed because we're using the same camera system for the actual plays, and using a different lens, so I had to kind of change that back quickly because I forgot to change it. So I'm still going to be moving around ever so slightly. Bang, now I'm not getting off my head. Oh, what fun. So, fully live, finally. This took significantly longer than I had anticipated. Just want to check something quickly before I confirm. Maybe if I put the stuff in my ears off, then I might be able to hear better. Who would have thought? So, okay. Now, rocky start. I'll get into that in a moment. The one thing that I do want to do is, if we look, I've got a screen down here, that's why. At the gods, we've got the goddess Alina, wife of Kotar, and then the goddess Melina, which is the wife of Arius. And those two are very similar, and I want to change one of them, and I have selected to change Melina, seeing as if you change the N to an M, then it's not a particularly nice name in a South African context. Well, probably depending on your opinion. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So, good starting point, always. If you ever want random fantasy names, go look here. Fantasy name generator. They generally are. I mean, they've got everything here. At least something of everything. Golem, gods and goddesses. And oftentimes this is literally the way that I choose. Oh, fuck. Didn't even realize that it changed over. I really need to make a plan. I really need to make a plan to sort out the streaming setup. Hopefully, if Comic Con does well, I'll have it sorted there. Maybe. We'll see. Go to Comic Con. I'll have things there that people can buy. So, goddess names for... Sorry. Doing a lot of prep for Comic-Con, which is kind of taking its toll. Get that out of the way. Yes, no beer, mainly because I was running around so much that I forgot to grab. So, a little bit of water. Might pour myself some whiskey a bit later. We'll see. It's at least close by. None of these really stand out to me. Why does some of them work or not? That could work. Talia. No, this is Telia. Sounds better than Talia. Telia. Arius, Lena, Kotar, Kubris, Phaethon, Fedea, Iptuner, Isgert, Rilta. Rilta, Telia, a bit close to one another. Mara could maybe work. Arius, Mara. There's nothing else that is... just note that one down so I don't forget it. Zuldea. Arius and Zuldea. Beginning, and first, last. Nope. Not even the... when I have money to actually spend on things like that. Double check that this... I'm not aware of any drafts. Why is this so difficult? Not my artwork, don't look at that. Okay. Apparently I need to spend money before I can continue building a world. Why does it allow me to do that now? Okay, still not. Just want to move her down. Apparently I can't do anything at all. Well, that sucks. At least the name's changed. So... sorry. Goes there. Then it'll be different here. So that changed that one. That did. Oh, but I couldn't change it everywhere. Well, that sucks. I shall need to have a look at what World Anvil costs at this point because I can't continue like this. I need to change things. I need to edit things. But anyways, onwards and forwards to the topic of the day. A rocky start. So, during our actual play from last week, was it? It was last week, yes. I came up with the idea, or the idea came to me, and there's this very obvious inspirations as to where I get similar ideas from, to have a collection of magical rocks within the atmosphere. Now, considering popular media, the obvious answer is the Infinity Stones from the MCU. Funny enough, what I was initially thinking of was more the different colors of kryptonite. So Superman, but yeah. The reason being, currently there is green, which is an acronym, which I don't think I've actually drawn an example for, which is maybe something I should be doing, thinking about it. Let's see. This is more what I had in mind. So something along those lines. Let's see if this is going to work. Apparently not. This will work. In fact, I think this will work quite nicely. So, anyway, greenstone, necronium, dangerous. Very, very dangerous. But then also there is the redstone. This might not be it. That is better. Then there's obviously also the blue purple stone within the City of Glass, which I don't think I actually have an image for currently. At least not directly available. I'm terribly prepared for tonight's live stream. In case that wasn't obvious, it's been a week. So for context, the City of Glass is a in a sense a 10th dimension within the Atmosphere. Now, the Atmosphere technically only really has 9 realms of existence. The City of Glass isn't a part of said realms. It is there. There are beings living there. Ironically, one of the current, well, the main party member from Osvadamore, and he's the main one because he's the only one that has survived this long, seeing as there was 2 party member deaths last week, in case you missed that. It was quite interesting. Go have a look if you haven't done so already. So, the main living party member from Osvadamore, Will, is technically from the City of Glass. The creatures living there are also the only creatures or beings not sculpted by Zalina, I think. I just changed the name, or I forgot it. Fantastic. Look at how wonderful I am. Zuldea. In fact, they were sculpted by the god of the forge, Kotar, to both maintain and protect the Atmosphere, which is what they're doing. So those creatures don't technically form a part of the rest of the Atmosphere, and their the creatures existing there, functioning in there. So it's separate, but it's part of, but it's separate, but it's part of. And the reasoning behind it is, or well, not the reasoning, but the Atmosphere is, especially in its infant days, was quite weak within the void through which it sails. So as a result, they needed someone that could defend it, and as such, the City of Glass was created and all of the creatures living there. Yes, I fully realize I am just tracing now. Now, a part of the City of Glass is it houses the Power Stone that supplies the Atmosphere with the actual power to well, both sail and for the planes to move around one another, which is fairly important. So yeah. So that Power Stone is unique in the sense that, one, obviously it has significant magical properties, unlike any other stone, including Necronium, but also because it's living in a sense. It continues to grow, not really exponentially, but it continues to grow. And as a result of this growth, the creatures within the City of Glass continuously mine said ore or stone, and that is also what they use to power themselves. So every creature native to the City of Glass has a small piece of the blue-purple Power Stone embedded inside them, which grants them the power to function. Which is in of itself fun. It has incredible magical properties, and should a wizard in some way, shape or form get his hands upon one and actually start experimenting with it, the demand for this stone would become exceedingly great, which is interesting. So now that I think about it, and I'm going to note this down. So at the end of the, what I'm thinking now, a possible end to the Dwarven Age, and would also canonically explain why certain things are the way they are, specifically surrounding Will, is because a Dwarven, well, not necessarily Dwarven, but because an Elven mage happened across some of this and started utilizing it. So, So they withdrew from Iraba mainly in order to prevent the continuation of the Power Stone, or the investigation, the discovery of said Power Stone in the hopes that it would prevent beings from seeking out the city where it is, City of Glass, because technically the City of Glass would be accessible to people on the material plane through one of two methods. The first and the most obvious one being portals. So creating a portal, if you know where you're going, if you've studied enough, then creating a portal and going through to the City of Glass should be very, very easy. And the other method is the atmosphere is a mechanism sailing through the void, and the Yaraba, the material plane, is held in place by a brass rod, a literal rod going through Yaraba, which also accounts for its motion. So by going to one of the poles, which in this case is literal poles, at the north and south pole of Yaraba, you would find this large brass pole that you could potentially climb, get onto the mechanism, and in that way access the rest of the atmosphere, including the City of Glass where said Power Stone is. So the inhabitants of the Power Stone, even though they are responsible for protecting and maintaining the atmosphere, they withdrew from the material plane in order to prevent the continued study of the piece of Power Stone that this wonderful, terrible mage managed to get his hands on. The actual details of that story, where he got, what his name is, where he got that, and so on, might schedule that for a future live stream, or just figure that out in my own time. So effectively, I think that might actually be a good conclusion to the Dwarven Age, because I haven't had something come up, and it does play into the whole notion of greed, which I very much played on in terms of the ends of the Elven Age and the end of the Dragon Age. I just wrote a piece of history for the atmosphere. What fun! And now my face isn't looking like fun. That's mainly because I am extremely sorry. I'm tired. I had a couple of very late nights. So, yeah, back to the original story. The Power Stone is one of them. It continues to grow. Every inhabitant of the City of Glass has one embedded somewhere in them. In Will specifically's case, it's in his chest. In some of the worker automata, it could be elsewhere. And I know what some people are thinking now. It's an option, but I'm not going to do that explicitly. I think that is the safe choice. So we've got red, not red, we've got green, we've got blue, both of which ironically has origins not upon Acrosphere itself necessarily. No, I can actually say that because the Solemn's first encounter with Necronium was when it rained down from the sky and infected one of their own, poor little Sparkle, who was the one that was infected at said point. So the suggestion is that the origin of Necronium is not necessarily on certain material plane. As beautiful as this band is, it is very dark music, so I'm quickly going to change my playlist. I'm still trying to figure out a method to actually get music onto the stream. I do believe it'll make things more enjoyable. Let's play that because that's fun. But I'm gonna change it again soon. So the thinking currently is to try and come up with different colors, which does remind me, I'm not actually, I know the Infinite Stones, there's Tesseract, which is blue, there's the purple on the Mind Stone, I think is yellow if I remember correctly. I haven't checked up on Marvel in quite some time. Time Stone, which is green, can't remember all of them. Apparently can't type either. Purple for space, yellow for reality, red for power, blue for mind, orange for time, and green for soul. So it's yellow, red, blue, orange, green. Purple, yellow, red, blue, orange, green. I guess that's all the primary and secondary colors. Red, white, blue, red, gold, black, "31 types of kryptonite." Are you kidding me? The other one that I thought might be somewhat relevant is the Lantern Core. Which also, oh, they have 9. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of research in terms of Green Lantern. But yeah, so those three. So I was thinking mainly RGB, red, green, blue, maybe RGBW. Mainly because it's the different colors of light, which is a lot of fun. So, in sticking to that, I need to make a plan for redstone of power. Sometimes the tablet freaks out and picks up my hand as an input device while the pen is close by, and then it jumps between the two. So we have... Oh, yes, that's a funny one. I'll get to that in a moment. So we have red, which we need to define. We have green, which is necronium. This might actually be easier in Word. We'll see why in a moment. So we have red, green, which is necronium. We'll get back to that in a moment. Blue, power stone, name to be defined. Now this is where it gets interesting. So has no effect on water. Has affects mainly automata, as it's their source of power. Increases magic ability, which leaves red as... So what it needs to be able to affect red or something else primarily. At least that's the logical way of everything else works. No, not that you can call a fantasy world entirely logical. So the question is, how should red, what should red affect? It's a curious one. So, question is, what do we do with red? The current answer is I have no idea. That was supposed to happen. If I can find myself, then it might help. Oh, wait. That's why this doesn't make sense. Just run it here from now. D&D Beyond, that's actually what I was looking for. Okay, aberration, beast, celestial, construct, which is out, dragon, elemental, which is fey, fiend, giant, humanoid, monstrosity, ooze, plant, undead. So most of these are organic. Aberration, probably not. Beast is something like a, well, it's wolves, snakes, frogs. It's just regular creatures. Celestial, which would be the gods, their descendants. Elementals aren't technically organic. They would be fiend, maybe not. Giant humanoid monstrosity. I don't think it's necessarily organic. Plant is technically organic, but thus far in the Isles of Adamor, there has been no evidence of necronium affecting plants. The one that I did think of might be cool is undead, but undead is technically organic, seeing as it used to be, and then it died, and then it got resurrected by magic, so it still has all the organic components. It's just now being puppeteered, for lack of a better term, through the use of magic. So I don't think undead is the option. So I think it's between those four. Why can't I spell? So we can actually say effects. Um, So, green agronym affects primarily organics, and there's no effect on constructs. Can probably add fiends, which are devils and demons. Abhorrent Overlord, Abyssal Chicken. That's still a weird one to me. Archdecozaril, Archdevil, Babao. So, I mean, fiends are your Blore, Baphomet, Barb Devil, Barghest. So these are your more, well, opposites of Celestials. So I'm adding Celestials. I can probably group them together. Now, interestingly, I have not yet selected any fiends, any outright evil creatures for the atmosphere. Which by itself is very interesting. I remember now, I was supposed to have that one also up. Now my face probably won't be as light as what it used on the one side. Oh, that looks better. So, Celestial and Fiends, same thing. Possibly Aberration. Aberration, not necessarily. As far as I understand, aberrations are things like beholders, mind flayers, intellect devourers, which is technically organics, actually. So I actually want to say it's aberrations. Leaves, elementals, and oozes. So, elementals. I need to call it an early night tonight because I am way too tired for this. So elementals are an option. Oozes, I'm not against the idea, I'm just... They're not necessarily something that come up very often. I mean, gelatinous cube, the one everyone knows. Black puddings. So, oozes aren't something they come across often, but elementals are. So, red would affect either between celestials and fiends or elementals. And then how would it affect them? Is probably the main question. Oh no, it affects you, but what does it do? It's always a difficult one. I think realistically, running D&D campaigns, at least within my own homebrew universe, they're more likely to come across elementals than celestials or fiends, so that leaves elementals. On one hand, I want to say it causes the opposite effect. So if it's a water elemental, opposite would be it becomes fire. If it's an air elemental, the opposite would be it becomes ground. But that, as much as I understand that this is fantasy, that feels far-fetched, even to me. So I'll still have to think quite a bit about that. Should be, yeah. What effect? Can't type properly. Transformed into a dragon. That's an idea. So the transformation idea is probably not a bad one. That's a good option. Transformed into a lunatic. Transformed into an ant-headed human. Rendered amnesiac. That's fun. Temporarily blind to anything green. Excessive hair growth. That's not really going to work. Loss of power. Gained telepathy and began to grow a beard. Interesting. Evil doppelganger, that's not really an issue. Growth of extra limbs. Rapid aging. drinking. So, turns it evil. So the plan got a lot lighter. On all of these edges. And then also get a bit of a shine. Every now and off again. Over there, light sketching it. Yeah, that looks significantly better. Oh, apparently the camera cut out again. Oh, the camera overheated. I really need to make a plan for a bracket for a camera. Next time. Yeah. Considering how much work I still have to do for Comic-Con, as well as how tired I am thinking of calling it here for the evening. I do think I did get quite a ways. I have a good idea of what I want to do here, but I definitely still needs work. Think about it a little bit more, maybe, hopefully. Well, seeing as it's Comic-Con coming up in 2 weeks' time, I'll probably only really focus again on this post Comic-Con when things have died down a little bit. So I realized this was a much shorter stream than usual, and I didn't go as in depth into. Well, I did go into in depth on a few things, but I'll try and be better in the future. So thanks for joining. I still need to upload the tickets draw for Comic-Con at some point, so that should go up in the next day or two. But yeah, see you next time. Next week we have Isles of Adamore back. I need to organize character discussions with 2 people, seeing as their characters are no more. So your guess is as good as mine as to what is going to happen over there. Either way, thanks for joining me. Yeah, see you next week with a table full of people.